Now, throughout this election season, we've heard concerns from some of you about election security and how long it takes to count the ballots, for example. We talked about it today with Oregon Secretary of State Shemia Fagan, who's in charge of the elections. She says the time it takes to count ballots actually is a good thing for election security in Oregon.
This is just the process working itself out. Just as an example, one of the biggest bottlenecks in elections processing is signature verification. So because we vote at home, it's that signature signed under penalty of perjury, somebody saying, I'm the person who is the registered voter on this envelope, right? That's a process that every single signature, out of the millions and millions of ballots that are sent in Oregon every election cycle, every single envelope, there's a barcode on that envelope and it's scanned. And then on the computer comes up that person's voter registration file. And most importantly, their voter registration signature. And that is then checked with the signature on that ballot envelope. Again, every single one is checked. And so it's our security measures that actually make it take a while to do that processing. You know, it would be a lot quicker to get on an airplane if I could just park my car and walk right on the plane. But there's TSA does its job and there's security measures that are put in place.
So we also wanted to know how things are going in Clackamas County. Remember that? They were the ones counting ballots through the weeks after the May primary because of blurry barcodes that were sent out. Well, Secretary Fagan says her office was on that. They checked on Clackamas County ahead of time.
Coming into November, we wanted to make sure that we knew people were concerned about Clackamas. And so I directed my elections division director to be personally on hand when Clackamas conducted their pre-election machine audit. Just so folks know, we audit the machines before ballots with what are called test decks. So it's decks of ballots that are just testing to make sure the tabulator is working and recording votes accurately. And then, of course, we do a post-election audit with the real ballots. And so all 36 counties conducts pre-election audits. They're called logic and accuracy tests. They're open to the public to come and view. There's schedules at your county clerk's offices of when you can view those. But I did direct my elections division directors to be personally on hand to view Clackamas to make sure that they tested all of the ballots from all the different sources in their test deck, and they did. So I was confident that Clackamas was not going to have any, massive ballot printing errors this time around. And honestly, the fact that they've been a little bit slower than other counties this time is just normal election administration. Again, signature verification, it takes time to make sure that all these conspiracy theories about people stuffing ballot boxes and all these crazy conspiracy theories that come out of the big lie, though we know those aren't real because every single signature is checked on every ballot in Oregon, and that takes time. And I'm fine because what's most important is that we get it right, not that we get it fast.
I have to say, I checked the security procedures at both Washington County and Multnomah County. I was very impressed with how thorough they are. So she's saying things that ring true there. What about you, though? Do you still have questions about the election security, or maybe even the ballot counting process? We'd like to hear them. Send them to us here at thestory@kgw.com. That's our email address, thestory@kgw.com.